Hello there. This is not what you would normally see on my channel, and I don't know how regular this kind of thing is going to be, but bear with me. I tend to post pretty much what I want, and most of my viewers know that. I used to work on cars when I was younger. I wasn't like a master mechanic or anything, but I could change a water pump, I could change a fuel pump, I could change, pretty much any kind of component that was on the vehicle. I could change the belts and all, but that was in a time when, the engine bays were bigger. I'm talking like 1970s cars, things like that, where you didn't have all the electronic stuff. You didn't have like 15 wiring harnesses connected to everything in its mother, okay? And once you took all that apart, trying to remember how to put it all together again. So, and my wife is watching me out the kitchen window, so that's funny. Anyway, so I stopped working on them, and because it was too complicated and too confusing, but that was a mistake. And so now I want to try to learn, and I'm hoping that some people will see me doing this and learning, and maybe they're just as much a novice at it as I am, and it might encourage them or give them help in some way. Once again, not a mechanic, not any stretch of the imagination could I be called a mechanic, so there's that. But also, I own a 2003 Kia Sedona, and the Kia Sedona, the 03 Sedona, is different than all the other flipping Sedonas out there. I can find videos of the 2004 and the 2002 and the 2005 and into the teens and stuff like that, and half the time it doesn't even look like my vehicle under the hood, and it doesn't match up to what I've got to do on my vehicle. So if there aren't very many 2003 Kia Sedona videos on YouTube, and I'm hoping that, if someone owns one like I do, then maybe, this will help them as well. But this is not an instructional video of any shape or form, and I don't plan on trying to pretend that I'm a mechanic, but you may see more videos as I learn to work on my vehicle. Got a 10 millimeter bolt. First thing we need to do is take this air housing, whatever this is called. I think it's an intake housing. I don't know, like I said, not a mechanic. But we want to, these are 10 millimeter bolts. And no, I don't have a big fancy air impact or any such thing like that. And by the way, my hood might fall down on me. I am propping it up because the little hydraulic thingamabobs that hold it up don't work anymore, and this hood probably weighs 50 or 60 pounds. It is it's not friendly to your head. So, but I'm going to take this down. No wonder. Is there any more? No. The thing that I worry about the most is, and that just disconnects from here. If I can get it to come off. Okay. I had that loosened, but alright. That just comes off like that. The thing I worry about the most is remembering what bolts come from where, that kind of deal. Okay, now we got a bunch of little plastic Phillips head looking screws. I need to take this off. Like I said, this is not an instructional video of any type. That's not what this is. I'm just doing, I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing. Hang on. And the thing is, even the weight of this screwdriver is making these not want to pull up, so I'm catching my fingernail up underneath them as they begin to lift, so that they don't float back down. And I don't know, I might have to take these little plastic thingies off of them. We'll see. They've got like a plastic little washer that looks like it's connected to this. That one does not want to come. There we go. It looks like it's connected to this. They're connected to this housing. I don't know if that is going to matter. I'm going to find out here in a minute. If I have to take them off, I will. Yeah, they pop out. We're going to take them out so that we don't lose them. And I'd give my eye teeth for one of those little magnetic trays. Next time I go to Harbor Freight, I'll definitely pick one up. I'm using a plastic bowl from the kitchen. Alright, got some here, or one here. Just trying to be a butt. You should always carry a sharp knife with you everywhere you go. See the other videos on my channel about that, but you should. It is something that you'll find that you use. And these are Phillips, but the Phillips keeps slipping. So what I'm going to do, alright, I've got a small custom screwdriver. I think that's going to fit that a lot better. See if I can get my thumb under, my fingernail under there. Back that out. That one does not want to come. Have to, I'm just going to try to exercise what is known as patience, which I'm in short supply of. I need to make me a little roll cart. 2x4s and plywood for my toolbox. That'll be at another time. watch yourself if you do what I'm doing with a knife, unless you're the kind of person that doesn't know how to sharpen one, and then you'll be okay. But the thing of it is, and I will always advocate it, a sharp knife is really, really important. My preference are these kind, because the blades are really thin and you can do what I just did really easily with them. But any decently sharp edge, if you carry one, a lot of people don't carry them anymore, and they don't understand how valuable a sharp edge can be. But if you carry one a lot, what you'll find is that there are so many things that a sharp knife comes in handy for, that you'll wonder why you didn't carry one before. And that's the tool for that job, for removing them, not a Phillips screwdriver. Alright, and there my hood's trying to come down. Yes, that's jack drag. Deal with it. Alright, I'm going to take these bolts. I think yeah, broke it. That's alright. It'll stick back in there. So I think maybe you push down on them instead. No, I believe that broke too. So don't ask me how it's supposed to work. I assume the plastic is just so brittle that it snapped. But that's the horn, and I don't think that'll have any problem staying on there. So let's remove these. They're 12 millimeter. With my good old Craftsman wrench. If you watched my earlier video on that, I took this apart and moved it and all that jazz. The sucker's working well so far. I have an old cheap ratchet set in my vehicle, but it has this little spinner on it in it. I'll do a video on what I think you should keep in your vehicle too, even if you're like me and don't know jack all about working on a vehicle. There are things you should keep in a vehicle. There are tools you should keep in a vehicle, even if you don't know anything about working on them. And I'll do another video on that. At a later date. There's some kind of diagnostics thing right there. I have to remember to plug that back in. Okay, what is holding it? Ah, these are 10s. Pretty sure it's not an 11. Okay. Need an extension bar for these. But I'm pretty sure this is what's holding it. Sorry if you don't see me that well. If you can't see that well. There are some little thingamabobs here that go with the wiring harness. To pop them loose. Just squeeze them with the pliers till they compress enough to pop through. Now with these plugs and stuff, I hope and pray that I can figure out how to get them off without breaking them, where they all go. I wonder if I can just pop that loose. Yeah, that worked. Worked out. Okay, now I have not drained it yet. So let me look. because I couldn't find the drain. Couldn't find the drain plug. And this light sucks really bad. Not sure where it's at. It ought to be. It ought to be like a. You ought to just turn it from all the videos that I watch. That's one thing that I would heavily suggest to you, if you possibly can, watch every flipping video about doing the job that you can. Even sometimes different vehicles, they still can tend to be tough. I'm not sure how that booger comes off either. Wow. That is pretty much useless. There we go. This is the radiator, I believe. Where's the... Yeah, and this is an air conditioner or something or another, but they, I think, have both got to come out. I just have to find that plug. What I might have to do, there's a panel underneath on the bottom of the engine that I won't be able to show you how to remove. It's just 4 or 5 bolts, I think. And I probably need to remove that so that I can find that. So stand by and I'll be back. Okay, I can't find the radiator drain cock or drain plug or whatever the heck it is it would be called. I've reached down in here. I've crawled up under the vehicle. I got that bottom panel off. I still cannot see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these fans out and see if I can see it that way. If I can, that's all fine and good, but if I can't, then I will pop loose the lower. That broke big time. I'll pop loose the lower radiator hose and say forget about it. But I'm going to see about getting these fans off. See if I can move them out of the way and see if that will help me to deal with it, to find it. If not, like I said, that'll give me room to pop the lower radiator hose with no issues, and we'll go from there. I'm just a shade tree mechanic. Don't know a whole lot about nothing. We are learning right now, and that's all right. And I'm going to just remove every bolt, I think. Makes a difference in this. See, those part of the harness thing that broke. Well, no, it didn't break. I don't know why. It just fell loose, and now I've lost a part. Yay, don't ever do that. I will find it sooner or later. I would give you a tip. I don't know if it's a pro tip, because we ain't no pro here, but I've done this 1,000 times, and I've seen mechanics do it 1,000 times. When you lay a ratchet down, and you're down on your back, lay it out away from your body where you can see it. Do with that what you want to. Well, and extensions are your friend. That's what I need. Let me see. Yeah. Comes loose until I begin to try to twist it out. And then it tightens back up again. Good deal. So wonderful. That's hard. Give it to me. Oh, I bought this for $5. Shop Job Smart at Tractor Supply. Dude, well worth it. Well worth it. Yeah, that ain't gonna work either. So long reach, flexible head, Pittsburgh Pro, cheap, well worth picking up. And sometimes with this, if you're new to it, like I am, patience is the deal, because a lot of these, a lot of times, you're just gonna have to go slow because you don't have the reach, or you don't have the swing on the ratchet. To the place is cramped. And you can't get a wide arc with your ratchet or whatnot, or the bolt is flipping long as I'll get out. 9,000 other things. And wow, that sucker's staying tight. I gotta ease my back a minute. When you get older, that's another thing. All right, puppy. Where you at? Yay. Drop my ratchet. But that bolt felt tighter, looser. Maybe I can. Yeah, there we go. All right. There. I need to get down here, trying to find that last bolt. Well, there isn't one. Okay, it looks like there was only 3 bolts, I think, holding this in. Do I have, is that, yeah. All right, so I want to take this loose and get it out of the way. Why is the thing? Oh, I see. It's catching on a hose. And that will comes out like a pain in the butt, but it comes out. Let me guess, this is going to be the one where you can't find the flipping bolt to get it loose from. No. There's a bolt. I don't know if there's going to be one on the other side. And you can't do anything but feel it. There's no way I can see that I'm aware of. No. These just sit down. I see. So, let me get my ratchet. I don't think I need this extension on that bottom one. Let's see. That's a pain in the boot. Let's try it like this. Wow, that's flipping ridiculous. There we go. Let's try. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. In this case, I had to put the socket on there first. Okay, I got the radiator drained. I had to pull the bottom whatchamacallit. I don't know what the crap it's called. I think I need to take this bolt and this bolt loose. I think that, or actually just this bolt, I believe, and remove and have that not connected. It lifts up this way, but I think this might stop it. I don't know. We're going to find out. All that's probably got to come off and be remounted on the new radiator anyway. So I've got this bolt loose because I spent some time trying to figure out what was going on. So every flipping thing I grab all right. I think maybe it comes up like this and pulls out. Okay, I got something to do with the AC compressor right here. I want to disconnect the radiator. It's movable, but I know I've got other bolts over on this side. Let me hold on a minute. So I want to get to this with a 10mm bolt. I think I can basically just kind of shove it over, because I don't want to be disconnecting AC lines and crap like that. That's just not something that I really want to fool with. So wow, that's what it's supposed to do, but that has already paid for itself. I wish that I could
let's go in here like this. These bolts, this is why literally why I stopped working on vehicles years ago. One of the reasons I just couldn't get to the stuff very well. And it's popping off the bolt head, yada yada yada. Let's see if I can come under. No, so put me a little swivel head on here. See if that will help. If I can get my hand in here to get it. Alright, what I did to get that bottom bolt out, it was frozen. So what I did was shove this as far into this corner as I could and took a very sharp chisel and broke the plastic tab on the radiator where that bolt connected. And that was the only way that I could get it out of there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right there, I just busted that off because that was the only thing I could do. We've got the vehicle back together. Everything is running smooth. There are no leaks or anything of the sort. Couple of things. First of all, when you put it back together, just do the reverse of what you did to take it apart. I didn't figure you guys wanted to watch 20 more minutes of video of me assembling the thing. But remember, there's a diagnostic port right here that you have to take off. It bolts to the metal cross member underneath this plastic shell. Make sure you put that back when you bolt it together. A couple of things. First of all, what you see in this video is condensed over 3 days or 2.5 days of work on the vehicle, and that's from like 11 o'clock in the morning till 10 or 11 at night. Okay, the first 2 days. A lot of that is because there's no flipping room to get to anything. But a lot of that is also due to mistakes that I made. One of them is, and one caution I would give you, if you take this radiator out of here, or any other car probably for that matter, you want to look really close at the radiator, because I made a couple of really stupid amateur mistakes because I didn't look close enough at the radiator. I took the radiator out, replaced this, put the new radiator in, and then I thought, well, I'll go over to the radiator and I'll look at it and see where it was leaking from. Well, I walked over to the radiator and what do I see? The radiator has 2 posts, one in each top corner, and then the bottom corner has 2 posts in the bottom. And when I walked over to the radiator, on one of the bottom posts is a big round rubber donut. Okay? That goes in the bottom of the frame. It goes there so that those posts slide down in it, and then the metal cross member up here has a donut here and a donut here, and they slide onto the post at the top of the radiator. Those isolate the radiator from the vibrations of the vehicle, things of that nature. Okay, protect it from being a hole being rubbed in it, whatnot, help to stabilize it, all of that. So if I'd have looked at the radiator, I would have saved myself some problems, because I had to come back out here the next day, pull it apart, pull the radiator out, put that rubber donut in the bottom of the frame and do it all over again. Yeah, it's like that. Okay, so watch that. Also, when I got that done, I started to walk into the house and pass by the old radiator again. Guess what I saw? Another piece on the radiator that I should have put on this radiator. There's a bracket that's on the bottom of this radiator, and it comes underneath the bottom of the radiator, and it goes to your oil cooler and bolts to the bottom of that. So I had to take the top off of it, take this side fan out, and scooch the radiator up so that I could slide that bracket under there to connect it. Okay, painting the rear end. So once again, back to square one almost. So pay attention to that, and that's probably a good idea. I haven't done auto work since the 90s. Okay, and this is new stuff, but even then, I knew better then to look at the part. So if you take a part off a vehicle, look at it, because there's probably pieces, brackets, all kind of crap that need to go on the other part that you're putting on. And it might not be so obvious when you install it. So the other thing is, this is so very tight that I would have given my eye teeth for a 1/4 inch extension of some kind. Even a 2 inch or a 4 inch 1/4 inch extension. You're going to need a 1/4 inch ratchet and 1/4 inch extensions if you're going to work on this vehicle, because it's incredibly tight and incredibly difficult to get to anything. You're going to need flex heads and the little flex knuckle and all of that kind of crap in 1/4 inch and 3/8. Now I did it with 3/8, but it took 2.5 days, okay? Because I could not reach half the stuff, 3/4 of the stuff I couldn't reach, okay? And the 3/8 ratchet was just too big, and it was just way time consuming and way difficult. So that's advice of mine as well, is to, you know, get a 1/4 inch ratchet if you don't have one, 1/4 inch sockets and 1/4 inch extensions. I'm going to go as soon as I can and get a couple of 2 inch, maybe a 6 inch, and a big the longest one I can find when I can afford to do it. If I was to do this job again, I'd pull that. Yeah, I'd pull the bumper, so I could get in here into different places that I need to get to bolt things down. I looked online at a video, and it looks like it's really simple. Now keep in mind, I skimmed through the video, and the video was only 5 minutes or so long, but it looked fairly simple. But you need to realize that the ABS, not the ABS, the airbag is probably connected in some way to this. So there's probably a part in there that I skimmed over that has to do with disconnecting that or making it safe. I'm sure you're going to have to pull the battery cables, stuff like that. But I'd pull this bumper in a heartbeat if I had to do that job again, because it would open all this up and make it really easy to do. And it would have been a lot easier and a lot faster if I'd have done that instead of what I did do. So, and the last thing that I would say is, if you are new like me, I'm not new, but I'm coming back to it, and I'm going to get more intense on being able to do as much of everything that I possibly can, maintenance-wise and repair-wise, on this vehicle. But if you're new, if you've never filled a radiator and stuff like that, you should look online at some of the auto shop places that are that have YouTube channels, and learn how to properly do that, because you can't just pour radiator fluid in there and be done. It has to be done in a way that gets all the bubbles, all the air bubbles and air gaps out of the radiator, and it took me about 45 minutes with the vehicle running. So those are some of the things that I had trouble with. And if you do this job, be aware of them, because you know, they will bite you in the rear end if you don't. If you don't pay attention to them, they will bite you in the rear end. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.